I'd like to, excuse me, I'd like to share something that I wrote involving a study concerning the hatred of the narcissist. I titled it A Hatred Without Cause, the Saga of the Narcissist. I'll just read you what I wrote here. One of the more crazy-making elements associated with being the victim of a malignant narcissist is the narcissist's inexplicable hatred. They hate without a cause. They hate for no reason. Is it any wonder that their hatred toward us and others is crazy-making? We are trying to make sense of something that is insensible. We are trying to explain something that is inexplicable. We try to rationalize in our own minds something that is irrational. And no wonder so many scapegoated children interpret their evil parents' behavior from an inaccurate perspective. How could they not? The sad fact is that most, if not all, scapegoated children internalize their parents' hatred, blaming themselves for the abuse. After all, there must be some kind of reason that Mom is constantly angry with me. There must be a cause behind my father's beating me. The reason must be me. There must be something I am doing wrong, even if I can't identify it. There must be something about me that's wrong, though I cannot even begin to recognize it. There must be some semblance of a reason behind their treatment of me, right? In my own case, even when I came to the realization that abuse is never justified under any circumstance, I had and I continue to have a difficult time coming to grips with such depth of hatred that would drive another human being to abuse. Which usually leads me to this question: what is it about me that they hated so much? I want you to know there's nothing about you that warranted your parents' hatred. Their hatred toward you had nothing, absolutely nothing, to do with you. Your abusive parents are members of a class of people referred to as wicked in the Scripture. Hatred for no legitimate reason is a characteristic of the wicked. And David, the psalmist, experienced this very dynamic, and he wrote about it. We read this in Psalm 69:4. Those who hate me without cause are more than the hairs of my head. Those who would destroy me are powerful, being my enemies wrongfully. Now, did you catch that? There are those who hate without cause. There are those who hate with no reason. Malignant narcissists have no rational justification for their hate. They have no sound motive for their hate. They have no logical defense for their hate. There exists no sufficient grounds for their hatred. No law of divine or human origin supports the narcissist's hatred. Not one principle exists within the context of civilized human interaction or norm that supports the narcissist's hatred. No belief system of any rational-minded people, society, or culture supports the hatred of the narcissist. There exists no logical defense of their hatred. There exists no sound or sane view for their hatred. The hatred and the malice demonstrated by the narc toward his victim is utterly baseless, utterly irrational, and totally unjustifiable. They hate without cause. They hate without reason. Why is this? Well, the malignant narc that hated you for no reason is a spiritually darkened human being. The malignant narcissist that hated you for no rational cause is a spiritually blind human being. He or she became spiritually darkened by choice. He or she became spiritually blind by choice. Their darkness is no accident. Their darkness is the result of the moral choices that they made. Your abuser chose to abide in darkness and blindness. The book of Ephesians in the New Testament touches on this very thing. I'm going to read from Ephesians chapter 4, verses 17 through 19. This is out of the Amplified. You must no longer live as unbelieving Gentiles live, in the futility of their minds and in the foolishness and emptiness of their souls. For their moral understanding is darkened. Their reasoning is clouded. We're talking about narcs here. They are alienated and self-banished from the life of God with no share in it. This is because of the willful ignorance and spiritual blindness that is deep-seated within them. It is because of the hardness and the insensitivity of their heart. And they, the ungodly in their spiritual apathy, having become callous and unfeeling, have given themselves over as prey to unbridled sensuality, eagerly craving to practice every kind of impurity that their desires may demand. Your abuser's hatred sprang from the gross degree of darkness to which he abandoned himself. The stubborn desire to resist his own conscience ensured your abuser would embrace every kind of impurity that his depraved mind imagined. Your abuser's moral understanding has become darkened, retarded, and primitive. He is spiritually blind due to his spiritual apathy. Now, as a side note, please notice the Bible did not say religious apathy. So many abusers are pillars of their communities and churches. It is not uncommon to find malignant narcissists pastoring megachurches or presiding over Christian television networks. No, spiritual apathy is not the same as religious apathy. Spiritual apathy is complete indifference to the impulses and the inexpressible communications of the human spirit. And I might add, this is how God communicates to man. Not through his mind, but through his spirit. Spiritual apathy is a willful unresponsiveness to the dictates of the human conscience. Many who do not claim Christianity, or any organized religion for that matter, are more spiritually in tune than the multitude of folks who profess to be Christian, go to church, yet are callous, unfeeling, and hateful narcissists. In closing, I'd like to share my opinion that it is difficult to make sense of the narcissist's hatred toward you, especially from a psychological, intellectual perspective. Now, this is my opinion. Their hatred came from the deep-seated spiritual darkness resident in their own heart and soul. I don't want to take away from the psychological aspects of narcissism. They're there. But I'd like to close by just saying this. I believe with all my heart we are dealing with a spiritual condition. We are dealing with the very principle, the very fundamental aspects of the human being when we touch on malignant narcissism. Thank you.